This is Dad eating.
That's the Grandpa Star, the first
That's
one into the
my
sky.
mom talking about the pretty old
Okay,
Grandpa
count.
Star. So,
Go Big Ray!
yeah. So that's her coffee and Millie the mermaid, whatever her name is. So it's just like that. And this is my sister Ava. She has flower pans with the orange shirt.
Andre Maurice once said, "Without a family, man, alone in the world, trembles with the cold." My family is the single most important thing in my life, and I genuinely cannot imagine a life without each of them in it. My family is also the thing I take for granted most in this life. As I mature, I see this failure to thoroughly appreciate my family as a product of overfamiliarity. I have become so acclimated to the rituals of my supportive, loving home. Frankly, I will never truly comprehend how teenage girls find their way through high school without a twin sister, or how my peers don't spend Sunday gatherings with their extended family to share a meal together. From the moment I was born, I've been surrounded by an unhindered familial love. It is the kind of love that television fails to capture in movies. The love in which my parents never go to bed fighting. The love in which we eat dinner together every night. The love in which my siblings and I will never know the isolating feeling of going through something alone. The importance of family goes much deeper than blood ties. These are the people who have witnessed me grow up, the people who have celebrated all of my achievements, and the people who have become the blueprint for those whom I befriend and how I wish to raise my family someday. Have you ever loved something so much that you didn't care whether others considered it uncool? I feel this way when I tell people I can't go out because I'm hanging out with my family, and their unamused expression is oddly comforting, for they may never know how much more fulfilling it is to be at home surrounded by people who genuinely care for you. Each member of my family, immediate and extended, is just as significant as the next. As I grow older, however, I've realized I lean on my parents most for support. I know how rare it is to have two parents still as insanely in love as they were when they first met, never going a day without receiving an "I love you" from one another. As much as my parents guide me, they cannot fill the role my siblings play in my life. For these are the three people who know me better than I know myself. We inherited the traits of our parents, coming to each other, complaining about life. I pretend to be burdened by their issues, but secretly dread the day when we won't have each other to come home to. Along with my siblings and parents, I share a home with my abuela, my biggest inspiration. Unapologetically loud and hilarious, she has never cared what others think. I often come to her in my most vulnerable state, for she would never judge me for anything. I take for granted late night debriefs with my sister after a night out and when my dad travels across the country with me for tournaments. I take for granted the endless laughs I share with my mom because we somehow have the ability to find joy in the same things. And when my cousin wakes up at 5 a.m. to drive us to the beach to watch the sunrise. I take for granted ranting to my older sister, who always understands exactly why I feel the way I do, and when my brother gives me tips on how to be a better athlete. I take for granted being part of an extended family so tightly knit that we will drive hours to see each other at least once a week. For all I take for granted, I understand clearly now that I will never be able to truly appreciate how deeply amazing and beautiful my family is.